Okay, so Nova had 12 puppies. The last video we had, she had had her 9 puppies, but she was still having contractions. I was thinking there might be one more in there or something, maybe a placenta that I didn't count. I thought I counted them all, but you never know, because she had them so fast. So first thing the next morning, I took her in and there was a puppy folded in half and stuck, and 2 more behind it. So instead of 9, we had 12. All have survived very nicely. Those 3 weren't breathing when they first were taken via C-section, but some CPR and they came right around, so it's been wonderful. Now, the care of Mom, she has been through a lot. She went through 2.5 days of pre-labor, right on through labor, right on through surgery. So we have to give her a lot of support. What I do when they have come out of surgery, I don't give them kibble or wet food. I will give them eggs, that type of thing, soft foods, macaroni and cheese. Keep a very close eye on her stools. So oftentimes after even a regular birth, they will have diarrhea for a few days. If they have it quite a bit and it gets rather liquidy, you know that that is also stripping her gut of all the good probiotics, etc. So get Synacor, or there is Fortiflora, that's F-O-R-T-E, F-L-O-R-A. It's the same thing as this. It's an all-natural product, and you just put that on their food every day, once a day, and that reinstates all those digestive pluses. Now, if she gets constipated, you're going to want to give her fresh pumpkin or canned pumpkin, but 100% pumpkin, nothing else in the can. And normally they'll just eat it right off of a big spoon. I just give her a big whopping spoonful. Probably twice a day, just depending on how constipated she is. Then watch closely, because it can get thrown the other direction. If she has diarrhea and continues with that, add just plain cooked white rice. Cook it up. I like to have it warm. I'll cook up a bunch of it and spread it out over a few days. But a good half a cup of plain cooked white rice. I heat it up every time I give it to her, because it gets hard when it gets cold. And add that to her food. So just keep an eye. They can go back and forth, so don't do too much in one direction. Now, since she's had so many, and since she was getting quite large quite early on, the second half of her gestation, her 60-day gestation, I gave her calcium. Don't give it the first 30 days to any bitch, because you can get too much calcium. But the second 30 days on bitches that look like they're going to have a big litter, or you've had an x-ray and yes, they are going to have a big litter, then they're going to need additional calcium. You can get this in a tablet, but then you almost always have to crush it, because calcium is so hard. They don't like to chew it because their gums are tender from all their calcium going to the puppies. So she's, what, a 37-ish pound dog. So she gets about a teaspoon a day, once a day, with her wet food. Add a little extra water, because it does dry out the food quite quickly. Oxy Mama is a good product. I give that to my mamas after they have whelped every day, once a day. And New Vet Plus, I give that to all my dogs. In this case, she gets 2 a day. Maintenance is 1 a day. So, you know, there's other brand names, but these are good products and they work well. I like to use these biscuits because they freshen the breath and they clean the teeth. Because, boy, she's busy cleaning up after puppies and that breath can get rank. So, that's Mama Care, and she's eating now 8 cups of food a day. 12 puppies, 37-ish pound dog, 8 cups of food a day. Plus treats, plus these. And that includes once, sometimes twice a day, wet food added. Again, watch her stools and see how much wet food she may or may not need. So, we did discuss the sponge feeding. I don't know if I mentioned in the last video. They're just regular cosmetic sponges. Easy, get them at any store. So they're the wedges, like that. And you've got your big tipped syringe. Now, a lot of puppy bottles will look like this. My miniature American Shepherds, they're too big for this. This might work for toy breeds or something. They would have nothing to do with the shape of that nipple. So really, you just go to the store, get a regular baby bottle, and I get a variety of types of nipples. Some are shorter, some are longer, some are wider. So generally the shorter ones they do better with. So you don't want to heat what you're going to give them. You have to heat it in hot water. You don't want to put this in the microwave. There's a lot of different things people can tell you that you can use. I had used a few different things with the goat's milk, like yogurt and some Caro syrup, but all it did was clog the nipple. I mean, the puppies were getting so frustrated, and it was just ridiculous. So I backed it down to just goat's milk, which is an excellent replacement milk. Now, if the mama, God forbid you lost her while she was whelping, that's a different story. Then you have to give more supplemental type things to the puppies as well, such as puppy back. That's something that you can get that's dried. This is the wet. I prefer the first couple of weeks to give them the all-natural with less manufacturing going into it. You can also get this powdered. They're 3 weeks old today, so my next purchase after I use the last couple of these, I will probably get the powdered. It's a lot cheaper. But they've had the benefit of the natural. This is going to take a couple of minutes, and just like with a baby bottle, just squirt it on yourself. Make sure that it's the right temperature. Not too hot, definitely not cold. Their stomachs can get really uptight about cold milk. So if you have a litter this big, you're going to have to make a chart for each puppy, and it tells what days they're being fed. Once in a while you'll add their weight here. When you did the nails you're going to do at about 10 to 12 days old. They start getting very sharp and start tearing mama up, and as you are bottle feeding, they will tear you up too. I'll be showing you how to hold the puppies. Now that they're stronger, you've really got to maintain how they're being held while they're drinking, or they'll just tear you up. They don't mean to, that's just nature. So have one of these on each puppy, and you can keep track that way. Okay, we're going to let this heat up for a couple of minutes, and then we'll go sit down and grab a little baby and go from there.